Hello everybody and welcome back to Casual Gamer Oz as we continue our F1 2017 career mode. We have moved ourselves into round 16 of season 3, another disastrous season we're definitely having at the moment, and a race that we don't generally do too okay at. Our best qualifying ever here is 14th back in season 2 of F1 2016, and our best finish here 17th, which came last season here on F1 2017. Let's get to this. And the good news is that we had enough to upgrade our car, as you obviously saw in the last round. And the good news is that the component was successful, ladies and gentlemen. We actually managed to get it fit separate successfully on the car, so therefore we didn't have a failure with it. So that actually was beneficial for us, and that is obviously going to increase the fuel capacity on our engine, which means that we should be able to run in rich mode a little bit longer. So that is kind of the benefit that we will have with that part. Obviously getting up to 500 is our next goal again for our next fitting on our engine, as that's the focus that we're doing here in our last few races. Yeah, we'll see how we obviously go with that. Now, Japan here is not a circuit that I do well in. The good news in this qualifying is that I've made it further than I did last year in qualifying. I crashed out quite early, of course, in this race. And my reputation, Toro Rosso are starting to get a little bit sick of me. I'm actually in the red zone at the moment in terms of the reputation. So this might not even be a case of obviously fighting for another team next season. It's actually a case of not getting fired by Toro Rosso. So watch this space, folks. We might be driving for Sauber next year. We started off with them in F1 2016, so anyway, we're going to end up qualifying dead last here in Suzuka. Our expected target of 17 is not going to come about, but we'll cross the line here just in 20th. Yep. Shut up, Jeff. I don't want to hear your face. After you went off him in the last round, you can go fuck yourself. I'm really not in the mood for Jeffrey right now. A season that had promise, a season that is not going to have promise. Vettel, Raikkonen, at least Ferrari can try and win this Drivers' Championship. That can make me a little bit happy. I just want to get Japan over and done with before we get into our final 4 races that I generally do alright in. But anyway, let's get into our race here in Japan. I'm going to do that now. So yeah, best finish here is 7th. What did I say last year? 17th. Yes, twice have we finished 17th here, actually. Season 1 on F1 2016, and then last year here as well. So, yep, I would be satisfied with 7. I'd be satisfied to finish this race, because I don't generally do too well at Suzuka. Let's have a pissing down race. Let's absolutely bucket down with rain, and we want full wet. Oh, we've got a new rival, by the way, Jolin Palmer. I forgot to mention that. There you go. Oh god, I'm very much in the red. This is not looking good. Okay, we've got a wet race, but I don't think it looks like it's raining heavily enough. We want full wet race, not inter-race. We're into our 3rd season. I have not won a single rivalry. So, maybe it's the difficulty level. Maybe come season 4, we're going to decrease the difficulty level just a touch. Do you think we should do that? Because I feel like I'm capable of racing against these guys. I feel like I've actually got it in a fairly good spot. It's just a tad ahead of me there. So maybe we can decrease it for next season. Just by 1. Just by 1. We won't go crazy. I think we're on 71 from memory. Or 70. But I really do feel as though that I'm on a good level here in terms of that I can keep up with them. But anyway, we're only on Inters, bugger. Alright, how long are we going to last here, folks, on an Inter Japan? I don't think we're going to last very long. I'm going to put it on rich mode. Having said that, we're meant to have better fuel consumption. And you can see there that we don't really have better fuel consumption. Interesting. Anyway, we'll see how that goes. Maybe it's just slower to get through what we're seeing there. As, whoa, we get very backed up here. Very backed up. Nowhere to go in terms of space with these guys in front. Can we get ahead of Van Dorn at least? Don't touch the front wing. Where do they want me to finish? 19th. I've only got to overtake one of these guys here. And I'm just tiptoeing around here, Suzuka, because I just don't want to lose a front wing. I really don't want to lose any part of my car heading into this section. I'm just going to tiptoe around so we can get some in the hairpin, I feel. I've got a bit of pace on this car in the wet, of course. Just at the moment, it pays to tiptoe around these guys because you're going to be able to make a move. Okay, that fuel has not improved anything. Whoa, 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 my goodness me. Off circuit. Yeah, alright, fair enough. I know it was illegal, but I let him through. Won't worry about rich mode and all that sort of jazz. I was going to possibly change the engine, but I might do that for America and Mexico, just because I generally do okay in those circuits. We just want to get Japan over and done with. So far, so good. Again, they only want us in 19th. So lower expectations for us, obviously, because we've been doing crap, which is decent for us. Jeffrey says it's a good start. Well, there's a slight positive there that we can impress old Jeffrey. As Vettel leads this Grand Prix, which is good. So it looks good that we can see a Ferrari winning their first championship here on Casual Gamer Oz after the Lewis Hamilton dominance of the first 4 seasons you've been witness to here on CGO. Don't know why I'm calling that again. Just flows off the tongue nicely, Casual Gamer Oz. You don't really need to abbreviate it. But anyway, we've survived the first lap without any damage. I've tiptoed my way around, made up of 2 positions. And Van Dorn's last. Ericsson's behind him there. And there's a very high likelihood that I could be driving one of those 2 cars next year. More so the Sauber, because I feel the McLaren is ahead of us now, isn't it, in terms of the overall pace? Even though they haven't scored any points this season. We could be finding ourselves attracting the difficulty and doing well in a Sauber again. Go figure. Anyway, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. We'll see how we finish the season. The performance has definitely dropped off a heap. Anyway, we're talking out of our arse right now. We're here in Japan. We want to maintain this position, and we saw what happened in Malaysia last round. Just the disappointing nature of that last lap. Oh my goodness, what happened there, folks? What the hell happened? Okay. Tell you one thing, this has been the longest slog I've ever had in career mode on any of the Codemasters games to get out of one team. I don't think I've ever stayed with a team longer than 2 seasons on any Codemasters games. Maybe Ferrari when I sort of got to the pointy end of the grid. But, you know, it doesn't usually take me that long to make my way into a decent car. We've got Ericsson starting to challenge me here. Oh, goodness, he just creamed past me there. Last of the late breakers. And well done, Marcus Ericsson. The Sauber drivers have definitely calmed down a lot based on the last season at least. And I believe it was this race, was it not, last year that I had a few kamikaze moments with the Saubers. So, yeah, interesting. One thing I will say, though, it's kind of, it's at least good that you really are fighting to try and get into a better team and out of this sort of lower team here, which, you know, makes it more the interesting, I guess. Whoa, and I get a huge slide out of that corner. It's going to allow Ericsson to really get through there. I should be able to get him back here at the hairpin. Oh, I just held on to that there. Thought I was going to spin into him. And, oh, Van Dorn's going to get a bit of a side swipe into the Swede there. Good racing, good clean racing. That's what we want. And to not lose myself here on this car. The grip levels are obviously very limited in these difficult conditions. Much rather full wet race than sort of an inter race. Van Dorn has made that stick, so Ericsson one moment was ahead of me and now he's dead last again, so hard luck for Ericsson, but that's what you get when all you're in Formula 1 for is your money. There's Verline just ahead of us here. We'll get a bit siding there. We're going to push our way through here to start the penultimate lap. What's our fuel like? Okay. Well, if that was meant to increase fuel flow significantly, it really didn't, because if anything, I felt that we ran out of fuel quicker when I put it into rich mode than we did before when we have it in rich mode. So, not sure what they're on there. Maybe it's the weather conditions, who knows? Could be the circuit. Not 100%. But I hope we can get at least one more upgrade in before the end of the season. Maybe in our last Grand Prix in Abu Dhabi that we can get it in place by. Again, knowing our luck, it will probably fail and we'll have to wait again. So we will see how things go, as it looks ever increasingly likely that, well, I think it's all but guaranteed that we will be in a minimum Toro Rosso next season, but I think we could end up getting fired and we might end up finding ourselves in a Sauber next year, because I don't feel McLaren would even hire us at this point, because again, their car performance seems to be better than ours, even though on track they're just not getting the results, which I find interesting. Of course, in F1 2016 they loved the McLaren developing themselves, didn't they? Challenging for wins, for God's sakes, and winning championships in F1 2016. And obviously the car's a little bit worse this time around. Anyway, just maintaining our position here as Van Dorn gets a little bit closer to us. Raikkonen another fastest lap. I'm intrigued to see how this championship battle is going to go here. Three-way fight for the championship. It's very entertaining. Jeffrey's trying to say something to me there, and I'm just ignoring the dickhead. Go off at me the way he did last round. Not good enough. Go fuck yourself. Anyway, that's another little side thing. Here's another little nitpick for Codemasters and to add to the realism of this game. Why do we have to have Jeffrey be our engineer the whole time? I mean, I realise that a lot of the time in the world of Formula 1, team engineers will change teams of drivers, but how about we have a different engineer for each team? Like, imagine if you went to a Ferrari and you had an Italian engineer and he's like, hey, push the car faster! You know, don't you think that would work? I think that'd be a nice little, you know, thing to look forward to. Just a little side thing there, Codemasters, moving forward. Again, I'm sure you have never watched one of these videos in your life, but I just think that that's just a nice little thing to add to the realism. It'd be cool. Anyway, just some little random tidbits for you there, some thought process moving forward to really increase the overall feel and realism of the career mode. Because it really does get a little bit stale after a while in terms of just the overall graphics and effects and things like that. As we DRS has been enabled. Oh, this is not good, because the track is drying. The rain has stopped, so this means that well, it started to rain, was it in Canada, wasn't it? Or in Austria. A few of the races it started to rain in the last lap, but obviously it's a shortened race, so you don't really feel the simulation effects. But now it's the opposite. The rain has stopped. Raikkonen wins the Grand Prix, so that's good for his championship aspirations. Meanwhile, our fuel situation is a little bit dire. We've got that red light flashing. Should make it. Hit a 130R for the last time. We've actually had a very clean race, ladies and gentlemen. What on earth has happened? Why couldn't we have this in Malaysia a couple of rounds, or last round? We have an invitational, of course, before our next race, but we'll take this. 18th. Jeffrey? Yeah, good. See that you are thrilled that I actually met team expectations. Thanks for that, bro. But we met team expectations. 18th. Wow. Wow. That's team expectations for you. Alright, so, yep, cool. Well, this is it. It's a Ferrari 1-2, so that's good. So Raikkonen, Vettel, Hamilton, Bottas, Ricciardo, Massa, Verstappen, Perez, Grosjean, Hülkenberg. So we'll just have a bit of a look at the start here, as we often do, just to see where it all happened at the beginning, at least. And again, can't knock the realism factor there against Squint, folks, and it really does look how slow I'm off the grid there. Just look how it's backed up here off the beginning. Unison cars in front, and I just, you know, me of old would have just gone to town in that. Different circuit, I would have gone to town in that, but it's just, it's too hard here in Japan, particularly with the conditions, and I just don't want to take my front wing off. Being a little bit more cautious than I perhaps have been in a lot of the other seasons, as you can probably tell. And again, also, no flashbacks, you know, Yeah, anyway. Cool. Alright, so what are the championship looking like at the moment? 20 points separates the top 3. My goodness. Bottas is still actually mathematically able to win the championship, but anyway. And if we want to make the top 10, we have to score 18 points just to get ahead of Grosjean. Constructors, well, Ferrari have all got that assured. So there you go. Alright, so we will be back for the US Grand Prix, but of course we're going to have an invitational in between now and then. Like, subscribe, comment. Thank you for tuning into Casual Gamer Oz, and we'll speak to you next time. Good night.